So let's talk about price reductions, because if you're going to be a successful listing agent, you really have to be able to figure out how to talk to your sellers 2 weeks to 30 days after you've taken their listing. And you have to give them convincing reasons and convincing data that will cause them to drop their price. Not an easy thing to do. So here's what happens in my practice. When 30 days, I tell the sellers when I'm at the appointment that they're going to get a detailed report from me within 2 weeks to 30 days. We'll agree ahead of time whether it's 2 weeks or 30 days, depending on the time frame. And I tell them, I'm going to give you a report. It's going to tell you everybody that has been through your house. I'm going to have the opinions of all the agents. I'm going to know what the buyers said that went through the house. I'm going to know what houses sold while you were on the market. I'm going to know what new houses came up to compete against you. And I'm going to have an idea of what the overall feedback from all of these people, has been in that time frame. And then I'm going to spend time analyzing it, and I'm going to write you a report to give you an idea of what the market says about your house and why we either need to change the price or stay the course. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so in 30 days, I'm going to call you. So
Okay.
let's just say it's 30 days has gone by. And this is my 30-day report. It is not a simple little thing. It is a detailed report. And in this report, I have told the sellers all the things that I've done. So my first page is, in the last 30 days, here's all the things we did to sell your house, so that they get a sense of what we've been busy doing, because they can't see what we do. The second page summarizes who's been through the house. So for this report says the house has been on the market, this was 43 days. In that time frame, it says that 15 homes in your price range sold. It says that there are now 38 homes actively competing against you in your marketplace. I identify all the open houses, and I show them the number of agents and the number of people that came through for each. Then I show them all the different websites they've been advertised at and how many web hits they've had. And in this case, it's 3,609 people have viewed, 9 virtual tours have been viewed online for the house.
Jane, let me interrupt for just a moment. Let's go back. I'm the seller, and you're here to give me that information.
Okay, he's gotten this report. I have sent this report to him before I ever call him to talk to him about it, because I'm setting him up. I'm giving him the data ahead of time. So this is what he knows. He's had 69 buyers through the door in 30 days. He's had 27 agents through the door with buyers there, by appointment in that day. He's had 3 open houses. 15 of his competitors sold. 38 other competitors are out there. Okay? So he gets this, and then I've written a 3-page summary of what the market has said. Actually, this one got a 4-page summary. And then behind the summary, it gives all the supporting data. And in the summary, it tells them what everybody said about their house, and it identifies what the problems are. So in this, let's just say, I'll make them up as I go, but let's just say you get this report, and I've said 27 agents have been through the house and 69 buyers, Mr. Seller. And here's the things that we're hearing are the problem. One is that you don't have a finished basement. Most of the houses in your price range have 3 levels of finished space. You have 2. So they're disappointed that at this price point, they're not getting another level of finished space. Also, Mr. Seller, your bathrooms aren't renovated. They're expecting at the price we're at that you're going to have renovated bathrooms. So now they're thinking, I have to renovate the bathrooms. Agent after agent has said, wow, at this price, Jane, we thought we would get brand new bathrooms. And finally, Mr. Seller, you don't have a garage. And all your competitors at this price point are offering 1 or 2 car garages. So our amenity package is not competitive in this price range. When an agent goes to your house, they walk away going, I can get more around the corner. So what we've noticed is that when we looked at the 15 houses that sold, almost all of them had garages. Almost all except for 1 had a finished basement. And the one that didn't have a finished basement had a big family room kitchen addition, and it was a gorgeous, gorgeous family room kitchen. So we aren't competitive. When there have been 15 houses that sold in 30 days, that means that 15 times a buyer had the chance to buy your house, but chose to buy something else instead. And that worries me. I don't want to go another 30 days and help sell another 15 houses. Because what happens to you is a buyer takes them to your house and goes, let me show you what else you can buy where you can get a whole lot more for this price around the corner. They're using your house to help sell the competition. That's not what you want, is it?
No, I want to get my house sold.
Right. So in order for us to change the picture, we have to do two things. We have to change the buyer that sees you and the expectations of the buyer that sees you. And we have to change the houses you compete against. So you are now listed at 700. In order to change the buyer that sees you, we have to go to 649. Because right now our research says that everybody that's looking at you is looking from 650 to 700. So we know that buyer has already been in the door and has said no. So we need to change the buyer that sees you, and we need to change the houses you compete against because you're not winning in this category. We need to change you now to the 6 to 650 tour. That tour, you may end up being the best house on the tour. So now we're changing the houses you compete against and the expectation of the buyer that sees you. And if you can get to, your best price would be to get to 625. So if you can get somewhere in that lower 600 price range, you're going to be priced better and will have another chance in the marketplace to be able to snag a buyer. So I suggest for the next 30 days, we try somewhere between 625 and 649. Where would you like it to be priced?
So you're telling me I need to lose another $50,000 to $75,000?
Yeah, you're losing it anyway. See, regardless of whether you lower your price or not, the market is lowering your value. So let me tell you what you can control. In this market and in any market, you only control three things. You control the price you put on your house, the condition that it shows in, and how easy it is for buyers to get in and agents to get in to see your house. So price, condition, and access, that's what you control. Here's what you don't control. You don't control market conditions. It could be snowing for 10 days. Nobody could get out of their house. It could be interest rates have gone up to 10% and nobody's buying. You don't control the number of houses you compete against. And there are 38. But more importantly, you don't control the motivation of the sellers that compete against you. So if your next door neighbor has the same house, the same exact house, and he's priced at 700, and 20 days go by and he says to his agent, don't sugarcoat it. What's the price I need to put on my house to sell my house? Because I got to be in Chicago for a new job. He's going to drop to 625 and he's going to sell. And you're overpriced immediately. You didn't do a thing except wake up next to a neighbor who was more motivated than you. And what we know in this market is every single month, 38% of the inventory is dropping their price. You don't control that. And finally, you don't control value. Buyers determine value in this marketplace. And what you can see from this report is they've determined that your value is not between 650 and 700. So you need to go to the place where they're going to see value in your house. And that means you have to get to the next price point, which is below 650.
Wow.
It's a wow. But that's really how the market works. You can sit at this number for a long time and wear yourself out. But remember, the longer you're on the market, the lower your offers will be. So my suggestion is to get to the right price now so you can at least get the highest market value you can possibly get after being on the market 30 days.
Okay. Thanks, Jane.
You're very welcome.
Great.